Hey guys, what's up? I don't know what that dude's doing down there. Okay, hold on. Let me change a few things here. I don't know if that's better or worse. That's probably gonna bother me a lot. Okay, so I'm just keeping it like that. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to put up with the mirrored crap, but whatever. And then let's take out this music here. Okay, so I know it's a little bit late, but I've taken the time to write up a document here on my top 10 scariest games ever. And these are games that I've played. So, you know, I'm sure there are scarier games out there that I just haven't played. So yeah, scariest games that I've played, and only one per series, of course. And I was going to record this yesterday, but I had just too much going on, and you know, getting ready for Halloween and stuff, and so I should have done it a little bit earlier, but now it's late. So anyway, without further ado, here's my top 10 scariest games. Okay, so number 10 on the list is Dreadout. If you haven't ever played Dreadout, it's a lot like Fatal Frame. And if you haven't played Fatal Frame, you basically take pictures of ghosts to kill them. And in Dreadout, you use your cell phone to take pictures of these ghosts. And it kind of just gives you this foreboding sense of just dread, because you can only see the ghosts through the cell phone camera. You can't see them normally just, you know, hanging around. You have to look through the camera to be able to see them, to kill them. So they could sneak up on you or whatever. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess there isn't much to be said about the game, because it's only a demo right now, but it's super scary and the graphics are really well done. It's being made by a team in Indonesia, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, it has loads of potential, which is really good. Number 9 is Five Nights at Freddys, and it kind of took the whole helpless horror genre a step further. Did something that we haven't really ever seen before, and that's, you know, of course, if you haven't seen any gameplay at all of Five Nights at Freddys, you're stuck in a room, and you can only look left and right, and that's it. You know, you can't do anything else, and you have this limited amount of power where you can look in your camera. So I guess you can't. You're stuck there. You can't move anywhere else. You can do other things, but you are stuck in this security office, and you can hit the doors to make them fall down when these animatronics are chasing you, okay? Animatronics. Ugh. Just, you're all scared of, you know, the Chuck E. Cheese people in the animatronics, or whatever the heck they are. You know, when you're a little kid, everyone is scared of them. And so this kind of just takes you back to your childhood fears and scares you for that. But it's what really makes it scary is that you can't move, and you have this limited amount of power that you have to really be careful about, and, you know, really try and work your way around to see where all of the enemies are, or the animatronics, or whatever, enemies, I guess, technically. And it gets really, really freaky. So number 8 is Slender, the 8 Pages. I know it sounds really typical, but this game actually is really scary, and it was really scary. Now that I've played it a lot, it's kind of lost its horror value for me, but it scares everyone the first time they pick it up and play it, and that's something that's really cool. Another awesome thing about Slender is that it kind of kick-started the indie horror genre, and it really kick-started indie games, period. Because people heard about Slender, and they played that, and then they wanted to play more, indie horror games, and now all of a sudden you've got YouTubers popping up playing all these indie games and stuff. So that's really good for the gaming industry too. And Slender is just it's freaky, man. You never know where he could be. And the worst part about this game is the bathroom. Okay, I don't know if you guys have played it or not, but the bathroom in that game is the scariest thing. Or the building, I don't even know if it's a bathroom. There's no toilets in there. I've always just called it a bathroom because of the tile flooring. But that place is the worst, okay? Because you turn the corner and bam, it's just the sense of claustrophobia in there is crazy. Okay, 7. You guys might laugh at this, but Luigi's Mansion, okay? It scared me as a kid super bad, and it still kind of, creeps me out now. Nintendo's always made, like, really cheery, happy games, sort of, I guess, for kids, and with Luigi's Mansion, they kind of changed that up a bit and put it in a more scary environment, and there's some pretty scary things in Luigi's Mansion too, and not just like creepy pastas and blah 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 whatever, but there are some kind of questionable things in Luigi's Mansion that were just awesome and super well done. I could never beat it as a kid, and it was just because it was too scary for me. I seriously could not beat it. Okay, so let's see. Luigi's Mansion was 7. Yeah, okay. So 6 is Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. And I really, really like this game. The story is, like, top-notch. Especially for a horror game. Most horror games have really bad stories for the most part that aren't really intriguing. You just play it for the horror value. But Fatal Frame 2, I haven't played 1 or 3. I want to, but I don't know if I ever will get around to it or not. But this game is really freaky. It's basically like Dreadout, except Fatal Frame came first, and you actually use a camera, like an actual camera, to take pictures, and you have ammo in the form of like what do you call them? The things that you print the pictures on. I cannot remember the name of it. Like, it's not slides. I think it's like a roll of film that you get or something, but it's whatever. And the game is made even more creepy by the fact that you play as one of 2 twin girls, and of course they're Japanese and are wearing schoolgirl uniforms and have black hair. And so they're just super creepy. Even though they're the person you're controlling, it's still creepy. And one other thing that really, really scared me in it was if you stand in one spot for too long, like a face starts to appear on your screen. Like the idle timer kind of stuff in games where like if you wait for long enough, Crash Bandicoot will start like pelvic thrusting and stuff. Yeah, it's like in this, except it's a scary face that pops up, and that really caught me off guard. Okay, now 5 is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Whew, man, this game, I think it changed horror games like forever, honestly. With the inclusion of all the stuff that you had to watch, your lantern oil, your sanity meter, which, of course was done in games before that, but this game really, like, revolutionized it. And, your sanity meter, your lantern oil, your health, even, everything about this game was just so creepy. The looming darkness. It's a sad fact that it's only on PC, because I wasn't even able to play it like in the dark or anything. I had to go play it on my school's Mac. One of the Macs at my school. I had to play it on there. So, it's in broad daylight and a classroom full of people. So it didn't scare me as much as it probably could have, but it was still really, really creepy. And I really respect it. And it still has puzzles in it from, earlier survival horror games. And the first time you see the those monsters, I suck so bad at remembering names of things, but those monsters, with the drop jaw and stuff, those things are freaky, man. Those are so scary. Alright, 4 is Outlast, and I'm including the DLC in this as well. This game, just for reference, this game's so scary that they actually had to dumb it down. So it's not even as scary as it could be, which sucks. I wish they would release like a director's cut or something, because that would be awesome. Apparently there was a scene where you got like raped or something, and that would have just, I don't want to say like, oh yeah, that would have made the game awesome, but it would have been so like just freaky and just ugh. Like in the Whistleblower DLC, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's some parts that just make you cringe like that, just like even just thinking about it is so bad for me right now. In fact, while they were doing playtesting of the game, a lady actually died. No, I'm just kidding. No one actually died. But a lady, while playtesting it, actually had like a really bad panic attack and had to leave the room and be sent to the hospital. And that's freaky, okay? That's why they had to dumb it down, because they didn't want people, having to go to the hospital over their game. But I do agree that they should release some kind of director's cut or something like that, kind of like how Manhunt was released on the PC just a little while ago with the adults only type rating on it. Something like that would be cool for Outlast, I think, because it's so gritty, and it just, the scare and the tension is super high. You always have to watch your batteries, and most of the game is chase horror. So like you're running from the enemies. There's a really good atmosphere that it sets up too, but most of the horror in it comes from chase sequences, and it does get a little bit old after a while. Otherwise, this game would be like definitely in the top 3. But yeah, the chase sequences just kind of get old, and but it's still scary, and it's still scary for me even after playing it, several times, there are still some moments where I get scared. And there's very minimal jump scares too, which I really respect. I think jump scares are just stupid. But yeah, anyway, on to the next game, which is 3, Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I've played all of the Silent Hill games, so don't tell me, like, oh, Silent Hill, the room is scary or whatever. Okay, this is my opinion. But Shattered Memories, I think the reason why it's more scary than the other ones is because this game actually psychologically profiles you as you play. There's even a warning before the game, like in one of the splash screens, that says, warning, this game profiles you to scare you more, which is awesome. It's so great. It's like one of the most unique ideas for a horror game ever. And I think more games should definitely have that. Silent Hill, of course, always has really, really good atmosphere. And, the voice acting in this one actually wasn't terrible. So that's good. And just everything about it was really, really scary. You didn't have any weapons to fight back with, which I think is maybe the only Silent Hill game where that's... I think it is, maybe. Don't quote me on that or anything, but you don't have any weapons. You just have to run and hide, and that's scary. Creates so much tension knowing that you can't do anything to fight back. So that game's super freaky, and the puzzles, even the puzzles are scary. Like, oh, it's really good. It's really good. Okay, second is Petey. I know this might technically be in the same series as Silent Hill, but Konami has officially... Is it even being made by Konami? Or Hideo Kojima, whoever's making it, I guess. They said that the PT doesn't have anything to do with, like, the story and stuff behind it. Doesn't have anything to do with the new Silent Hills game. So it's more of just, it's a playable teaser. It's something to show you kind of the graphic fidelity of the game and kind of like the perspective you're going to be playing at. It's a teaser. It's not necessarily a demo, because if it actually related to the Silent Hill game at all, it would be a demo or a beta demo or something, not a teaser. Anyway, this game's super freaky. I played it just last night with my friends, and I've played this game through probably about 4 times, and each time I've played it, it's been different. And the scary thing is, I don't know if it's supposed to be randomly generated or not. But this last time, we got stuck at a part and just couldn't beat it, and there were weird noises happening that I'd never heard from the game before, and just these really, there's some weird things going on, and I've never played the game and had it be the same experience, which is awesome, I think. And let's look at my notes here. So it came to the PlayStation Store without any announcement or anything. Nobody knew what it was. It was under a company name that, like a developer or publisher name, that no one had ever heard of before. So we all just kind of assumed it was an indie game, and of course it's rated M and has horror and stuff in it, and so I like that. I like horror stuff, and so I downloaded it, and I was like, this is weird. Like, who's this studio that's made this game? So I look up online to see what studio, and there's just nothing about them at all. And so this is kind of starting to freak me out a bit, and I feel like I'm living in an actual creepypasta. And yeah, it's crazy. Just everything about it is so disturbing, and the graphics are top notch, and the sound, the atmosphere, everything was done so perfectly. It's amazing, okay? So good. And they actually had to dumb it down a little, because they wanted to make it seem like it was an indie game, even though it's really not. So that's awesome, which means the graphics are going to be better, and the scares are going to be better, and I'm so ready for that. I am excited beyond belief for this new game. Hideo Kojima said that he wanted to make a game where people would literally crap their pants playing it. And he even joked that for the limited edition, they would include an extra pair of pants. So, I'm super excited to play the game, and PT, just the teaser, is the second scariest game I've ever played in my life. So before we move on to the scariest game I've ever played, I'm gonna just say some honorable mentions here. Daylight, which was not so much scary or creepy as it was just very tense. And the fact that it's procedurally generated is really cool. Slender: The Arrival, which was really it was pretty good, but it wasn't as scary as Slender: The Eight Pages, but it definitely had more content to it and more of a story, which I appreciate. The One Night series, which is an awesome series if you haven't played it. There's just a lot of jump scares, which kind of sucks, but I would suggest going and playing it right now. There's 4 games now, I think. I think the 4th one just barely got released, but it's made on the RPG Maker engine. It's completely free to play, so go download it right now, because that game's really scary and super good. Lurking Under Life. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about this for a second, because this is just a sad story. So the game came out, and I played it. I was younger than I am now. Let's just say that. And I don't know. I was probably like 11 or 12 when it came out, but I played it through maybe halfway, and it just got way too scary for me. This game's made in RPG Maker too, by the way. And it just got way too scary for me. I couldn't handle it, So I had to set it down and delete it, and I didn't think of it for a while. And then it was either earlier this year or sometime last year, I found out that there was actually a movie made based off of this game that I had played. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. So I went on YouTube, watched the movie. It's in 3 parts. You guys can go watch it if you want. And it's okay. It's mediocre. It's an indie movie, so you can't really expect much from it. Excuse me. But so I'm like, oh, cool. I want to try and go back and beat this game, because my scare tolerance is much higher now, and I went looking for it, and it was completely gone. No trace of it at all. And the last remaining trace that I could find of it was on Mega Upload, which is totally destroyed now. So that pissed me off about Mega Upload even more. And I really want to play that game now. So if any of you guys have it somewhere on your computer, please upload it somewhere. You know, everyone needs to play that game. And it was really scary. And I tried, asking around on forums and stuff to see if anyone had it, and it seems the only place that does have it, there's this torrent with a collection of a whole bunch of, free RPG Maker games, and they're just, it has no seeders, doesn't even have any leechers, no one's been trying to download it for a long time, and it sucks because I can't play it anymore. But yeah, if anyone has that, let me know personally and upload it to the world, okay? Then my fifth honorable mention and last one is Spider-Man 64. Most of the game wasn't scary until the very, very end when you get to Monster Ock. That scared the crap out of me as a kid. And if you want to know why, just search up Monster Ock Spider-Man 64 on YouTube, and you will understand why. Just know. Okay, so my most scary game that I've ever played is the Darkness series. This isn't the AAA game on consoles. This is a Flash-based game, okay? On Newgrounds. Back when Newgrounds was actually relevant. I don't know how relevant it is now, but it probably not very with all the PC, actual PC gaming that goes on in console gaming and stuff like that. It doesn't really have much of an appeal anymore. But it's a 3-part Flash-based game on Newgrounds. So it has episode 1, 2, and 3. I think they said they were going to make an episode 4, but they never did. That being said, episode 3 was released when I was in 7th grade, so that's 6 years ago. So I really don't think they're gonna ever come out with it, but whatever. That's besides the point. It's of course just a point and click kind of game, except in the second one you actually point and click and your character walks along the screen. You play as this dark-haired girl, of course, and the story is really good. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but a lot of it's jump scary because Flash games can't really throw jump scares at you, which is kind of a bummer, but that's just the nature of them. But it does really instill a sense of paranoia, and it's really intense, and if you play it or watch any videos, you'll understand what I mean by this. But when the lights flicker on and off anywhere in my house or on the street or anywhere now, when the lights even flicker a little bit, I get so freaked out just because of this game. Okay, because in the game, when the lights flicker, that means the ghost is close and you gotta hide or get out of there. And if it catches you, there's a little bit of button mashing that goes on while its face slowly, creeps up on the screen, and it just freaks you out. But it's a puzzle game. It's pretty hard. It's a little ambiguous with the story, but it's not too hard to figure out. And the story's actually really good for a Flash game. Let's see if I have anything else written down on here. Yeah, so this is the last thing I've got written on here, but it's got like really bright environments, that look like they were probably made in just a really simple photo editor. But the environments are really bright, and that's kind of weird because you don't really ever see bright environments in a horror game, but they really are bright and they aren't too bland either or grungy. They look pretty normal actually. Um, and it kind of plays a trick on your mind, like everything's going to be okay because it looks fine, but it's actually not. And that's a really great part of the game too. I've never seen another horror game that has a bright, not spooky environment. So yeah, I guess that's it for this top 10 scariest games ever. Sorry about that notification there. You guys probably got a big black box. But those are my top 10 scariest games. If you have a scariest game that you've played that I didn't mention, that you think should have been on the list, or you think that I should play, let me know, and I will try and get my hands on it and play it. I don't have too many things to play it on. I mean, I don't have a computer anymore because it broke. I've got a PS4, a Wii, and so that plays GameCube games also, and a PS3. So if it's on there, I'll definitely try and play it. Or if it's some like NES or SNES game, even maybe like an N64 game, might be able to run it on my brother's laptop, like I've been doing with Castlevania. But yeah, that's it. So let me know your suggestions, and I will see you guys very soon because I'm going to be doing a playthrough of Metro 2033 Redux. And then after that, Last Light, and I'm super excited about that because I've never played those games. So yeah, I will see you guys later, and I'm going to test this out, see if it works. PlayStation. Stop broadcast. Yeah, cool. Okay.